Nurses are calling for the WA government to mandate COVID vaccination for visitors at all of the state's hospitals and aged care homes. They say the sick and vulnerable must be protected as restrictions are lifted for pubs and clubs.
Back in business. Restrictions on pubs, taverns and nightclubs now lifted, but masks remain and proof of vaccinations required at licensed venues and events of 500 people or more. The changes announced yesterday, too onerous for some at short notice.
It certainly will present some issues for event organisers because obviously there's a workforce issue at the moment.
While nurses want proof of vaccination extended to hospitals and aged care homes to protect the sick and vulnerable.
It seems logical to me that if you've got a virus that is far more deadly than the flu and you have a mandate for the flu vaccine, then logic would dictate you would have a mandate for the COVID vaccine.
The Nursing Federation has also written to the Health Minister calling for priority testing for healthcare workers after New South Wales ordered potentially infected staff back to work as their system buckles under pressure.
So if you want to avoid what's going on in New South Wales, get better access to the testing and quick access to the results. You can get it back in 12 hours. We know they can do that.
It comes as WA lags behind the rest of the nation, still without a check-in app that carries proof of vaccination.
I'm not sure why we've had delays around this. I think a lot of it has just been complacency and the fact that we haven't really had a lot of COVID going around.
And it's unclear exactly how the app will work or how secure the data will be.
Until we actually see an app, I'm sure there will be a bunch of us in the cybersecurity space that will start looking at ways so that we can also look at ways to prevent that.
Ironically, hospitality staff enforcing proof of double vaccination at venues themselves only need to have had one jab under the state government's current mandate.
Yes, it creates an anomaly, but it's probably the fair way to go about it. So people who had been planning to make sure they met the criteria aren't necessarily out of work.
It comes as WA has recorded one new local case connected to the infected backpacker. A staff member at the Lucky Shag waterfront bar has tested positive. The bar is now closed for a deep clean. Anyone who visited between the 29th and 31st of December must isolate and get tested. 14 interstate travellers have also tested positive and are in quarantine as the state braces for reopening February 5. Natalie Forrest for 10 News First.